Okay, everything good? So, so sit comfortably
Sich
and
bequem
close
hin,
your eyes
schließ die
and look
Augen,
inside
schau nach innen
and bring your attention
und
to
bring
the
deine Augen
strongest thing happening inside right now. Maybe thoughts, maybe feelings, maybe a body sensation. It can't just be silent. So whatever you find, you bring your attention there and don't try to change anything. Okay, so when you're ready, you can open your eyes, come back into the Zoom group. Would somebody like to share what happened during the meditation? Okay, perhaps you'd like to, Shiva. Okay.
Hello. At first, there was some body sensations because I just waited in time to sit down. It took a while to calm down, and yeah, so after the middle or so, it got more quiet and more soft, and yeah, feels very nice actually.
Right. When you could go, when I suggested you going deeper, did something change then?
Yeah, it got still a bit more softer. Yeah, a bit more deeper maybe.
Right, right. So tell me, recently, did you do a family constellation?
Yeah, I think this is now like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, something changed. I see it's more, bit more light in the daily life. It feels more easy.
Yeah, I mean that's why I was asking because it felt to me like recently you appear more open actually, and in the theater you are very, how can I say, strong and clear, and you came over very good in the theater. I would say.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Anybody else like to share? Oh, whoops. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I have to invite somebody. It always feels funny that you guys don't offer this thing at the beginning. So no, you do occasionally. You're one of the most that offer that. Okay.
Okay. So in the beginning, it was immediately very quiet, very empty. And this emptiness is always a kind of strong energy. And then thoughts came. Yeah, and then emptiness again, and then thoughts again, and the emptiness again, and so on.
Right.
So the emptiness feels like a big area or a big space, and the thoughts feel like a point or an arrow or something, like a less, one dimension less. So they come in and then they last longer or not so long, and then they go out of this space, of this area. But all
So,
this energy, yeah, it is kind of feels like a strong energy.
but the strongest energy is actually this bigger space, and
Yes,
then
of course.
probably the thoughts are somewhat in the background of that space.
Yeah, they're sometimes disturbing and taking a bit of this energy, or I don't know how you can say, but the emptiness is always very strong energy.
Right, right. Okay. I mean, I've heard you saying this before. That's why I wouldn't choose you for this little job of feedback.
Yeah,
But
okay,
it
I will
seems that you
repeat
have
it.
what?
Yeah, this is always the same.
Yeah, but that's not bad. That's actually very good. It just doesn't make for such an interesting Zoom
Okay,
meeting, so that's
okay.
why I'm not rushing to.
Yeah,
Okay,
next time I won't say anything.
right. Okay, I have to try to get this thing. Ah, here we are.
Stop.
Okay, so Anna, we've got Anna from England, I think from London, sitting under a palm tree. And how about your meditation?
Oh, wait, where are you? Yeah. Oof, my meditation is strong
Yeah,
because from my heart to the top is very heavy,
yeah,
very heavy. And when you say go a little bit deep in, I don't know if it was my highest self, but it says, no worries. You you are guided. You are, I don't know what they say, what it says, but I just feel it to cry. And yes, I'm moving back to Spain, so I'm doing a lot by myself. So this is why it's a lot heavy. Yeah. But yeah, no long. Hopefully this week I will release that tension.
okay.
But yeah, I needed to cry actually because it's a lot for one person. Mm.
You've had something painful happen to you in the last days?
All the time
All the time?
because my mind is in survival mode.
Yeah.
Because I am doing all the packing, last month of work. Um,
Are you shifting? Are you shipping from
my
London to
computer.
Alicante?
Say it again, sorry, my computer
You
just
live in
stopped.
London now, I think, yeah?
Yeah, I live
You
in
live in
London and I'm
London?
moving back to
You're moving back
Alicante.
to Alicante.
Yes. And I'm selling stuff. I am doing my packing, all the stuff by myself, and this is why I feel heavy.
Okay.
My arms, everything.
Hmm.
But yeah, not long, as I say. In the end of the week, it's all done.
Very good.
Thank you
And
for
when
listening.
you you're coming to India with us, I think, yeah? So
Yeah, from London. I'm traveling from London.
you're traveling from so you're going back to Alicante, then you'll fly back to London and then
And then I work 5 days and then holidays.
okay.
Yes,
Good. Well, anyway, we're going to see you soon in a month, yeah?
yes, 1 month, no long. Thank you for asking.
Okay, very good. Oh, okay. So, recently I've been focusing on surrender and different aspects of surrender. So I think I've selected two small paragraphs. So I'm going to read these and then I would like somebody to dialogue with me about what I'm reading. Yeah? So Ramana was asked, is absolute surrender a loftier practice in comparison with Vishara? Bhagwan's answer, yes. Absolute surrender is to crush the ego in a single stroke. But for those who find this impossible, the suggestion might be made unto them to practice unrelenting, intermittent attempts at partial surrender. In due course of time, that will lead to complete surrender. Absolute surrender is another name for realization, whereas partial surrender or surrender as a practice means making attempt to surrender, except in the case of mature students. Repeated attempts to surrender are generally necessary before the ego can be finally topped off completely, i.e., before complete surrender can be achieved. And then he was asked, if I surrender unconditionally to God, will he make me realize the self automatically,
Automatisch
although I may not engage myself in
selbst
practice of
realisiere, auch wenn ich
any spiritual practice.
spirituelle Praxis mache.
Background. Exactly.
Genau.
Really, there is no surrenderer.
Es
Nothing to surrender. No one to surrender to.
keinen,
No such gesture or action known
der
as
sich hingibt,
surrendering.
und keine Hingabe und
Everything
kein
is rarely already his, and the
sich
position
hingeben
or
kann.
situation has never been otherwise, except in our perverted imagination. And then he was asked how to practice this, how to practice surrender if there is nothing to surrender. Background. In arriving at the intellectual understanding that there is nothing to surrender, give up the ego. Then effortlessly, thought-free and energy-free subjective consciousness is the only state left as the residue. Anybody like to comment about these?
Will jemand was zu kommentieren, was zu sagen?
I mean, most of you on the screen tonight are living in the open sky house. And I would say that making a decision to, if you like, leave the society and come and
Also
live in a
wenn du eine Entscheidung
is
fällst,
already a deep surrender. I mean, if you consider how you felt when you made that decision, I would say surrender was almost inevitably going to be part of that. I mean, in my own case, I can hardly remember. But
also in meinem eigenen Fall, kann ich mich kaum noch erinnern, aber vor 50 Jahren habe ich
I would spend time in Osho's ashram. So I had come there for, I think, 2 weeks, gone back to Japan, and then felt a strong pull to go back there. And so I had a Japanese girlfriend at the time. Some of you know her. And together we made a decision that we would travel through Asia to Osho's ashram. And then we stayed there together for some longer time. I don't remember exactly. So in deciding to come to Open Sky House, you're also in the process of surrender, whether you recognize it or not. What's going on in our community gives us many chances to surrender. There can be little surrenders in the daily tasks, maybe things that happen in the daily tasks where you make some kind of decision or something like that. That is a kind of surrender. And true surrender or unconditional surrender, of course, is not so easy. Unconditional surrender means that you completely put yourself in the hands of existence. And from then on, you don't expect to get something and you accept whatever is coming to you. So this is unconditional surrender. And clearly it's not something that you can do so easily, or maybe not. Maybe it can be fairly easy and straightforward. I've said many times with Gathapati, right? This young Indian man, Gathapati, he had this situation where he wasn't particularly a spiritual person or anything, and even he was resisting coming with his parents to thank the people in the big temple in town for some medication that helped him recover from being sick. But anyway, when he had come there with his parents, he had had a few days earlier this kind of dream of there being a mountain and somebody more or less naked walking around on this mountain. And then when he came to Tiruvannamalai, his parents wanted to go and see Ramana. So the three of them came into the ashram, and immediately this young man found himself surrendering to Bhagwan. So out of his particular situation, we know from what he had done with this diary, the idea that he every night for 6 months was going home and sitting late into the night to write down what had been happening during the day. I mean, I would say it was a very strong surrender that happened to him. Anybody like to talk about what I just read out?
Anna is there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Bear with me.
go ahead.
So this month that I am doing my movie, I have been practicing surrender. As I
Okay.
say, and as you said, it's not easy. But every time I try to bring in the present moment and feel and let go the attachment of things and just trust. As I say,
You
it's
mean
not easy,
trusting your
but I am
next step of
practicing.
coming back to Spain, you mean?
Yes. I have as I say, I have been practicing those days surrender, and I think when during the meditation, when I started crying, is because I saw some people that will help me in the end. So I felt like surrender, like, yeah, I'm not alone. But as I say, I'm practicing during this month a lot of lessons to let
Okay.
go what I don't want. But yeah, attachments as well. Let go the attachment.
Okay, so how many years have you lived in London?
Oof, over 13.
13 years.
Mm,
Okay. So what is your decision? I mean, why are you deciding to go back to Alicante? Is that you want more contact with your family, maybe?
I just felt it. I just felt it in my heart, and I
Yeah.
trust. The same
Okay.
like India. I have been, yeah, just saying to most of the people that I am comfortable here. Always the same answer, I'm comfortable here. And when I quiet my mind and I hear my heart is when I say, I just want to go to Spain. I don't want to go to Bournemouth or Croatia. No, it's Alicante. For now, it's Alicante. Tomorrow, we don't know. But no, it's Alicante. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I have been practicing surrender
Mhm.
and the love, the attachment, let go things that I cannot carry with me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great moment for you to have some awareness about surrendering, yeah? Because it's clearly, this is one of those moments where inevitably you need to make a pretty big surrender to shift yourself back after so many years in London. Were you living with a husband for
Indeed.
some of the time?
Say it again.
Were you living in London with a husband or a close friend?
Yeah, I always share the flat.
What's that?
I always share the apartment.
Oh, but you didn't have a special relationship with somebody.
No, at the moment, no. I
Hmm.
have been in these 13 years, yes, but not at the moment. 2 years without any relationship.
For the last 2 years, you haven't been in a relationship.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
Mm.
And how does that feel? Was that rather painful? Or
No,
did you
no, I'm
agree
happy.
together?
Say it again. Sorry.
Did you agree together to separate, or was it something he put onto you? Or
Well,
maybe you put onto
directly,
him.
we're
I don't
gonna go
know.
there. We're gonna
Huh?
go there. Well, no, I decided the separation because
Yeah.
I found that he was lying to me,
Okay.
and I just say bye bye. No long
Okay.
ago, he called me saying that he would like to date again, but I say no. I didn't mention to him that I find out that he was lying, so no.
No. Okay. Good.
Yes, good. Still, let's see what India comes. I don't
Right.
want to think in the future right now. I'm happy
Mm.
with myself, all that I achieve, and I will achieve. I have some plans, but the moment I just want to think in my moving and India. That's it. And let go.
And tell me, while you've been living in London, have you been attending meetings, spiritual meetings?
A spiritual meeting? Yes, yes, sending light and love to the people. Chanting, channeling messages from the source, ancestors. Got to sing mantras. Yeah, I have been. Yes,
Okay. Right.
and I think I told you I did a course as well of Akasha Records, but you don't like that.
Sorry, what didn't I like?
I remember that you mentioned to me that you don't like the Akasha Record. Um, but yes, I like to send love and light to the world, do chanting and all that. Mm.
Okay. Good. Well, I think you're going to enjoy India. We have an hour of mantra every morning, so it's kind of becomes quite juicy part of the retreat.
Yes, yes. Before I know much about it, most of my clients they were telling me that I will be happy in India, but I never have a look at the retreats or anything until not long ago. I had the feeling
Yeah, good.
of India.
Right. But you haven't been to India before, so it's going to be a first
No,
time.
yes, and
Okay.
I am grateful that I'm not going alone.
Right,
Yes, thank you very much for listening.
right. Okay, good. We'll see you soon in India then.
Yes, we will.
Good. Ah, Saraswati. I think you might. Oh, okay. Saraswati, and then we come to Pavati.
Okay.
Are you there? Ah,
Yeah.
okay. By the way, I've been meaning to call you by phone the last few days. Actually, I wanted to catch you before you left for Spain, but somehow it didn't happen. So probably soon you'll get a phone call.
Okay.
Yeah. And how are you doing down there in Spain?
Um, well, it's at the moment it's really changing very quickly.
Yeah.
I just had this just came to my mind because I remember in the last days there were many things coming up happening, but I even in things that were not so easy for me to understand, because I mean I have this tendency to find an answer or a reason for things with the mind. And in these, then I would usually write it down in a way to
Uh-huh.
for me to understand it. But in the last days, it was just not possible. So I just went with this, or what was coming and it was changing.
So it
Um,
wasn't, you didn't have time to write down because there were things were moving quickly.
yeah, yeah, and
Right.
it felt quite good because yeah, found there were just different situations coming in which I also could settle down things. Like being hugged unexpectedly by someone, or yeah. So it's also a new experience for me how things can settle down, and
Right,
without me actively doing it, but just it's happening.
right, right.
Like you get a nice phone call from somebody and suddenly you're back on Earth unexpectedly.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So would you say that sometimes your decision, when you look at it again from these talks about surrender, that in fact you are surrendering. You're finding moments when, in a way, you surrender to that moment.
I don't know really, but I have no at least I don't see another intention in it. So I'm just open to what's coming, but of course it's not always like completely surrender.
No, but if you can make already small steps towards surrendering completely, that would be very nice, because self-inquiry is one way and surrendering is another way. And I think what he basically was suggesting to people was, if they had a strong practice of their own, he would just say, very good, and encourage the people to carry on with that practice, whatever it would be. Yeah? He wouldn't particularly suggest self-inquiry or surrender. It would depend very much on how he felt about each person who came and sat in front of him, because he knew that if somebody had a sort of minor spiritual practice that they had been doing for some time, and he would encourage them, very good, carry on doing that, then the person would carry on with the feeling the support of Ramana. And then, of course, he knew that at a certain moment, there would be this question, about I. What is this I? Who is this I? What's all about this I? And he knew that would happen to everybody who basically came to visit him, not necessarily right then, but in the near time. And I think this is what happened. Because, he also had a community of about, I think, 15 people. In the early days, it was 15. Probably in the 40s was much more than 15. But it wasn't a huge number of people until almost the end of his time. And the people who came found it very difficult to leave. Many of them got very surrendered to him and very much in love with him, very touched by him. And they didn't want to go back. They wanted to stay. Many of the people almost couldn't go back. And we've had this experience here recently. We had Arun, for example. You know how he came here, and he wasn't really planning anything about Open Sky House. He just arrived on his bicycle, and then basically he surrendered to the place because the things that he met were things that he liked, so they fitted with his life also. And then I remember we've got Krishna down in Denia. And when he came to a transformation week, he was very shiny already in the first day. And by the end of the week, he was telling me he didn't want to leave and that this was the perfect place for him and blah, blah, blah. And so it's quite interesting that personally, there was also Arjuna and Ananda, who both came for a transformation week. And at the end of the week, they just decided to stay. And they're now here, I think both of them, more than a year they've been here. So it's very interesting how this possibility is there, that in a right moment, you can just allow yourself to say yes. And Yeah, so okay. Anything else? No. Okay, nice. Parvati, is she still there? Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I can see, I feel very alive
That's good news.
in the last days, yeah. And to surrender, I would like to say that it's for me the feeling to give space and just this, the trust to wait if you don't know. In some situations, you just don't know. And in my case, it's sometimes just the cooking, no? And you just wait and something comes. It's just the simple thing, but that's why it is so easy to do, because you, as the life seems to be so easy that I would not even say I do something like surrender. It is more if you be in the flow, and you got more and more used to it, to be in the flow.
I mean, somehow, almost I would say since you first came here, I've always had the feeling that you have a deep surrender to this place and to the life in the place and to your own progress and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
I
year
mean,
I'm very excited about India. I don't know why. We will see.
oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Yeah. How many times have you been to India?
6 times or 7 times, I think.
6 or 7 times,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But I have never been so excited like this time. I don't know why. Also, we will see. I'm very happy to go.
Right, right.
Also, my health is so, I think that I can
Your
easily
health
go.
is a bit better again, isn't
Yeah, much better than
Okay.
the year before, years before. Okay.
You're already practicing cooking curry, so I'm sure we can look forward to some good food in India.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, very nice. Did you mean to be there? Oh, you got your hand up. Yeah. Go ahead then.
For me was in the beginning, I also came after 1 week, nou ja, we call it then nog Helpers Week. That was also letting go a lot of fear, because I know after a few days that Indira asked me, are we looking for people? Do you want to live here? And then you asked me in satsang also, do you want to live here? And I said, there was a voice in me who said, yes. But afterwards, I noticed that there was also a lot of fear to let my friends behind, my country behind, the money which I paid every time, and in the end I had only little money left, and so there was a lot of fear what I have to go through. That was for me also
And how many years
learning
ago
to
is
trust.
that? How many years ago are you talking about?
7 years ago when I
7
came.
years. Right.
So, but I remember that I find it also scary, yes. Even when you gave me your name, my name, I was scared because I thought, now I really have to go into a relationship with John David. It was also something, but gave fear to me.
Okay.
But
Giving you the
I
name.
think, what? Yeah.
Giving you this name, Durga.
No, that was the name Kashi.
Oh, it was Kashi.
My first name you gave me, yeah. But even that morning, I felt fear. It was something from, now really the step.
But for example, now you say you've been here 7 years. Can you remember a time when your fears were realized?
I think after Ukraine, my fear there, I still felt a lot of fear because then we got more the relations and the clash in the relationships. And then the first years you didn't do you didn't ask me much, but there and that I didn't do it went so well. So there I felt also a lot of fear, but I don't know. There was a honest. It just happened, you know. I remember that once you said to me,
Yeah.
"Oh,
For tomorrow.
You've got a
but
guest waiting for
that
you.
one that you said to me, hey, you called me. I don't hear you scary anymore, you know. And it is not
Right.
that I did something, but it just changed after a few years.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've definitely noticed that, and I mean, there feels to be some movement all the time in the last year or two.
Yes, I can feel that. And also when you asked me, I was in the Ukraine. We searching for somebody who's cooking in Spain. The
Right.
fact that you asked me, that gave me such a trust. John David will not ask me if he has not the feeling that I cannot, you know? So I could easily, yes, I said, yes, I can. Of course, I had Parvati, he had learned me a lot. But if there is somebody else, like Parvati or an Indira, then I'm always easily go in the lower role, you know? Tell me what to do and I will do or so. I don't
Right.
take then so much initiative. But then suddenly I have to do it. And I knew I could. Of
Right.
course, I
And
asked
you've been
Parvati.
doing it now for some longer time, yeah? 3 years maybe, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Good. Yeah. And how are
So
things
it is
down in
also
Denia?
that you are there gives also the trust. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
that is also the massages that you said you can do it. Otherwise, I would never have done that. You know,
Right.
so
Right.
that is also, yeah.
And are you practicing your violin for
No,
the
I'm not practicing my violin.
well,
Yes,
anyway.
find
You are
time.
learning some Spanish down there, are you?
I'm learning Spanish, yes.
Good.
Every day I do 10, 20 minutes Spanish on my phone.
Wow. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice to talk to you. Yeah. Okay, somebody else like to engage in? Okay, Krishna. Oop.
Yes, I remember.
1 second, I'm a bit. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Good Lord, what are these things on your behind you?
This is picture from Ramana, which I bought in Ramana ashram.
No, I can
With
see
the
that.
cows
But
all day
what's all this
sitting
other
in the
stuff?
jungle. Yeah.
You look like you're a crazy football supporter or something. Turn the other way,
Do we
Krishna.
ever?
Huh? What are all those
What do you mean?
things there?
This
Yeah, exactly.
this is the scarf from we got as a present. We were playing in the Ramsarat Kumar ashram. And we played
I don't understand.
the
You're
viola in the Ramsarat Kumar ashram. We were singing.
Yeah. What is this? This was given to you by Mardeviki?
I think his internet is very bad. But yeah, that's the shawl that we got from Madevaki when we sang in the big hall last year.
Oh, okay. Everybody got one of these, did they?
Only the band, I think 6 people.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Okay, good.
there it is.
Okay. The connection's not very good tonight, but anyway.
Yeah.
And
I
are
mean,
you
this
okay
is
with the family drama that you are? Your ex-wife's daughter, I think, is having trouble in Berlin at the moment.
yeah, I'm
You
okay. I had a
yeah.
talk with Indira, and this is also one of the things I trust very much, to call somebody in this community and open up to things and get a big support. And I never know, I always jump in and can do these things now, which I never could before in my life. I was not able to do such things like asking for help or opening up to a talk with Indira or you, or I don't know. It is very new for me, all these things, and also the tasks I do. Like,
So tell me, you were living in another
I
community
remember
maybe
the
20 years ago,
electricity
were
here. You
you?
just said do it, and I started, and I had no fucking clue
Okay.
to do and what I'm doing. White Goose Company.
Yeah. How
Time at
long were you living in
20
their
till I was 30. I
community?
was very involved in the White Goose Company. And hmm?
I didn't hear any of that. Can you tell me again what you were saying about the Wild Goose Company?
I, I was living when I was 20 till I was 30. I was very involved with Michael Barnett and the White Goose Company. And it had, of course, a big impact on my life. It the life of the people there was so free and so beautiful, as it is here also, as I feel here also.
Right.
And yeah, it has a big impact on my life. I saw the first time in my life people who are more true and authentic and like lions and like tigers in their life, and not like little mice for something. Yeah.
And did you live in the community that I think he established somewhere in France? Maybe in a castle or something? I don't know. I think.
I was 1 year in Italy, in Gifa on the Lago Maggiore.
Yeah.
There was
And
a
did Osho, while you were there, did
huge,
Osho
very
show up?
beautiful garden also. I think the first time
You have to repeat that.
I
I can't hear
it
you very
was in
well.
same ground.
Say that
Paul
again.
Lowe was on this ground one year before we came there.
1 year before you came there,
You
Osho
hear
had been
now?
there. Because in the
And
beginning,
Paul Lowe was there.
right, yeah. Were you joining his community or Michael Barnett?
No, I went to Michael Barnett from the beginning. I saw Osho when I was studying. I saw Osho in the Munich Center, and I went to the talks, and I was so fascinated by this man with his beard and with his had such a great radiation and he was such I was looking, and I felt like something divine or something great is happening with this man. And I want to be there or something like this. I want to
Right.
be part of this. Or
And
I
this
don't
is when you were connecting to Michael Barnett.
And then I found Michael because he was closer, and I found a flyer from him in a Sannyasin group. And I immediately looked at him and I said, wow, this is the man I want to know. And then I went there and
And who was the
called
person
that.
who was, sorry, but I didn't understand who the person was that you first met. I thought that was Michael, but it wasn't Michael.
Yeah, it was Michael. It was just first, I was in the Osho community, and then I got to see a flyer from Michael Barnett, and I contacted the White Goose Company because he was out of Osho's movement in that moment already.
Right.
And I saw him and I thought I have to go there in a way. And I took the flyer and contacted the White Goose Company and asked for the next group. And I just started with the first group there in Alpbach in Austria. And from that moment, I was completely, I felt I have to be there. 10 years I spent at the White Goose Company, and it was fantastic.
If I remember rightly, when he was working, with the people, he didn't talk so much, I think, yeah? He had an ability to open people's energy system, and he could maybe just lightly touch you, or maybe not even touch you, just put his hand in certain places, and people might collapse on the floor, or they might laugh crazy, or something like that. Is that right? Is that how it used to be with Michael?
No.
So you didn't hear what I said, I think, yeah?
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it.
Right.
Yes. He was doing energy work, and as you said, when he touched you or when he was close, he was sitting people like a mandala, he called it, around him. He made a kind of mandala. It was very beautiful. People were sitting around him, and he was standing in the middle and made some strong music in a way, and did his body work and his energy work, and people were just sinking in their space. You could see everybody was going into his space, movement, and then everybody was lying on the floor in different ways, and that.
Right, right. And you spent 10 years with him living in his community for 10 years, or only visiting sometimes?
Yes.
Did you live with him for 10 years?
No,
Or
I
you
lived.
only visited?
Yeah, I did a lot of groups and energy trainings with him. I was very close, and then I lived 1 year in Italy and also in France for 1 year. But the most of the time I was also changing from my place where I was living to the White Goose Company and doing the groups and the trainings and everything, taking part in life. Whenever I wanted, I called and I said I want to stay 3 months, and then I went there for 3 months.
Okay, good. Yeah.
As yeah.
Okay. And
Working.
is the energy field that you could experience when you went to Michael for some time, is it similar to the energy we have here in our community?
It is, yeah. And here it is a bit closer, so I feel more support because it's small. I feel more that I can have support. In a way, I can see that I now get things. I would not say understand, but my heart understands better here because it's I cannot say the difference. There was not so much support for the single person in the Michael Barnett energy field. He wouldn't have time for 80 people. Yeah, there was 80 people around him living there, so you can imagine
Right.
it's impossible to keep the contact everywhere.
Yeah. Right. Okay, nice to talk to you.
But of course, it is fascinating to see it and live in this space and
Okay, good. So, some time. Oh, we have time. Somebody else like to dialogue with me? How about Divya? What do you reckon? Should we have a talk? Okay.
Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah. So I was very impressed with your theatre on Saturday. You did this really good theatre.
Yes, I had so much fun and so much fear before. Wow, so I was really thinking, oh, I quit it. I can't do it. But then I had, for the dinner, I had a glass of champagne.
Right. Can help a bit.
And it was very easy, and it was so light and so.
No, I mean, watching you, I mean, watching you doing the theatre, I mean, I had to be impressed how strong you were and confident. And it seems that there's two people inside Divya. Maybe I need to give you an extra name for the other woman, but I mean, it seems very often since you've been living here that you feel some kind of no or some kind of resistance, and then maybe you actually surrender. Maybe you say to yourself, okay, I give it a try, or I don't know what you say, and then it works very well.
Yeah. I see this both sides, and sometimes I'm really desperate about it. I would prefer to live this Divya side.
Right. Because it seems that your fear or your resistance doesn't really last very long. It's almost like some kind of automatic speech that comes out, but then actually you've gone through many changes already in the time you've been here. So in fact, you appear to me to be very open to continue this process.
Yes.
I think you'll enjoy India because our India is pretty different from the India that Om was offering. Did you go to his retreats?
Yes.
And they took place in the mountains somewhere, not really in a city, I think.
Yeah, somewhere in the mountains. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I've been to that place actually. But as I remember that place, it was very isolated from India. And so you're going to discover this year when you go with us, it'll be a very different experience.
This was a process too, because yesterday I spoke to Indira. I said, Indira, I will not come to India. I don't feel it. I don't want. So I had to speak it out. And we had a beautiful talk.
What is this part of Divya that's telling Indira last night that you're not going to come to India? And then I understand a bit later you were deciding happily that you will come to India.
Yeah. It's a kind of fear. It's a kind of big fear. I think a fear of the mind, because it seems he know what will happen. Like an idea, oh, that's dangerous for the eye to go to India. And it will. But there is the heart that sees,
But
yeah.
you want to get rid of the eye. That's why you've spent now 20 years plus half a year here. That's why you're involved in this daily lifestyle.
Oh, I didn't understand the first sentence.
Well, I'm saying, as far as I understand, the reason you lived in Ohm's community and now here in this community is because you have a genuine wish to make certain understandings which maybe you didn't have in the beginning.
Yeah.
And the idea that you have to be afraid about everything, you see, because in fact the theatre that you did was really, really lovely. You remember you ended up having Parvati dancing with you, kind of dancing together anyway.
Yeah.
You have to ask Carly to give you the film of your bit of acting. Okay, and then you can see yourself from, like, being an observer. You can see yourself in the theatre, because there was no sense of resistance, no sense of fear.
Yeah. And this way I want to go on.
Right. Well, maybe a bit of fear gives you some sort of something, so it's okay, because actually I've experienced you quite surrendering. You know, you came here also just for a few days to the transformation week, and then you basically decided fairly quickly to stay longer, and then you decided to live with us here. So I mean, that is a process of surrender, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. It was very helpful what you said before to surrender, because there was an idea in my head that surrender is something, it happens like, wow. But these little steps, the little movements inside or outside, that this is also surrender. It was like a misunderstanding that there's something boom and then it's surrender or something special. And these little steps, I didn't recognize it.
Yeah, but you can see now we're talking about it, you can see that it is in fact surrendering.
Yeah.
But it's not an unconditional surrender. That's a moment when you conditionally, I'm sorry, in a moment when you would unconditionally surrender, I would say that is a pretty rare situation. And I would say most people, in fact, are surrendering little by little by little by little. And then maybe something happens, and then there's a bigger thing happening. So you now you know you've got that support inside, because you know, the other night with the theatre, you did a very lovely theatre, actually, full of confidence and energy and everything.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, somebody else like to have a talk about surrendering? Are you better again, Arjuna? You want to have a talk, maybe?
Yeah, I would like to.
Are you feeling better again?
Yes. Not totally, but I can function.
Okay.
Function again. It was also a kind of surrender for me to, like, on the second day when I was sick. I was, I think, in total 6 days. And on the second day, I felt some pressure that I need to make myself healthier quicker again. But at some moment, it was just totally obvious that it's nonsense and it just comes from the mind. And then there was also a kind of surrender to being sick and not being able to help and not being able to support the community in this situation where it could have been helpful. And yeah, that's how I feel in general about surrender. It's kind of way, it's strange to say that someone does it, because for me it feels just that one energy is becoming stronger, and then it's becoming like obvious that this thing happens. Like when I quit my job in the school and I didn't have an alternative, many people told me, "Oh, that's so courageous," and I couldn't do it. What are you doing next? But it was the same as being in the sick situation. It's just obvious because it's energy, or it's just obvious that this is the thing that will happen.
Right. I think that's right. And so as you and also I think somebody else, was it Krishna, was saying that, well, and Divya, I mean, this surrendering is not a big kind of performance, you know. It's like small, delicate moments inside, realizing that existence is suggesting, you know, you're going to turn left, and your mind is telling you, well, maybe right will be quicker. But the sense is that it's left, not right. And once you say, okay, and you turn left, then suddenly something happens and it makes it clear that that was a good decision.
Yeah, it reminds me of moving in here.
Right.
Also, where there was, yeah, in a way, I knew it after we watched the Pointless Joy movie when we had a little satsang together. So something in me knew from this moment that I will stay. But still, for I think 2 or 3 weeks, my mind made a hassle about it, like being feared about this phone call with work that I'm quitting and I have a contract and everything, being a nice law-abiding citizen. And
Right.
yeah, but there was all the time there was this feeling of I was touched more deeply. It's obvious that I will stay in a way. It was always there.
Right. Right. Yeah, and actually, when you see that inside you, you've got this thing going on, which is suggesting you can stay here. It's actually, it's almost as if existence lets you decide step by step, so that how can I say, you can surrender in a gradual process of surrender, something like that. You know? But in fact, if I remember, you decided to stay in the house after your first week, or maybe it was in the second week, I don't know. So it was,
Yeah, I think something like this. I don't really remember, but I mean, I talked to many people that yes, I would stay. I would stay. I think I remember first time to Kali, but I was still a bit hesitant and fearful to tell it to Indira, actually.
yeah, she's a scary lady, yeah, very scary.
Yeah, I mean that would also make it like a public, really public statement in a way. Like that would be
By the way, if you
the
guys don't
signature.
know it, this super shirt that I'm wearing, I can stand up a bit, is a gift you all gave me for my birthday. You see? It's got a fish, cat, boy, fish here. It's got everything. It's like an amazing shirt. When I first saw it, I thought I can never wear that. But actually, now I feel like I can never take it off. Very good shirt. Yeah.
It looks so amazing. I didn't
Yeah.
know we gave it to you, but it's amazing.
Yeah, but I don't know who gave it to me, but I think it
Yeah.
was the community. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, very good, very good.
no.
So I think I'm going to stop now because actually I'm a little bit in need of some visits to the bathroom. Okay, thank you. Nice meeting.